It is scheduled for one fall with no time limit. And once the bell rings, the man in charge of the action is the 7-figure deal, Ace Rockell. This contest, your main event of the evening, is for the NWA Television Championship of the World. Introducing first, to my right, wearing the red with the white trim, hailing from Greenville, South Carolina, he weighs in tonight at 219 pounds. He is a 3-time former holder of the television title. Tonight he is the challenger, the untouchable Jeremy Vane. His opponent to my left, wearing the blue with silver and black trim, fighting out of Demarest, Georgia. He went from Buckhead, Georgia, weighing in at 201 pounds. He is the only 2-time Anarchy heavyweight champion, and tonight he is your reigning and defending NWA Television Champion of the World, Technical Perfection, Chad Parham.
Well, the Anarchy Television Championship is going to be on the line here in what I can only call a travesty of justice. Ace Rockell has been named the referee and checking the men out here. Wait a minute. Now, getting a little too friendly there with Jeremy Vane. Checking the elbow pad. Jeremy Vane's a... wait a minute. It was just a chain. It kind of held up the elbow pad. Now going over to Chad Parham. Now Chad's an honest man. There won't be anything in Chad's tights or anything. Now, Ace Rockell had to plant that on him. That is the NWA Anarchy Television Champion, the NWA Anarchy Heavyweight Champion. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. This travesty of justice that has been taking place here in the ring. This assassination of two men's characters whom I happen to admire very well.
What are you babbling on about?
Ace Rockell being a jerk.
Ace Rockell, the official assigned this contest.
Oh yeah, that. You know what? Let me tell you something. I smell a rat. If it's not your prom date or your cologne.
Look, I don't care what in the world you smell. He asked me to stick around at ringside just in case he found anything. Look at this. This is what was hidden in Jeremy Vane's elbow pad. It's a chain. The man had a door chain hidden in his elbow pad, and he slapped something out of Chad Parham's hand. Must have been hidden on his person.
Do you see the hooks here, Greg Hunter?
Yes.
That was to hold his elbow pads up.
Are you out of your mind? Anyway, right now the world's television title is on the line. Technical Perfection Chad Parham, one-on-one with his hand-picked opponent, Jeremy Vane, as evidenced in the #1 contenders match, which was between Vane and Rockell. Some weeks ago, Chad Parham, who was up here in the announce booth, providing commentary on the match, scouting potential opponents, decided to go down and throw a cup of coffee in Jeremy Vane's face, which in turn got Rockell disqualified. Therefore, Jeremy Vane, the #1 contender to the TV title. And right now, the champion, Chad Parham, is out wrestling the 3-time former TV champ, Jeremy Vane.
Well, Greg Hunter, Chad Parham has a lot on his plate. Now, I know you don't know what the internet is. You think the World Wide Web is a spider web that covers 7 continents. But no, on the internet, there's a little site called YouTube, and the challenge has gone out. Chad Parham, being the dual champion that he is, has laid out the challenge to NWA World Champion Christian Cage for that title. This man could be a triple champion. Triple crown.
That is very much possible.
Like Seabiscuit. Chad Parham could be NWA Anarchy's answer to Seabiscuit.
I'm not sure, but I think you might have just insulted the champ right now.
He's a thoroughbred.
Well, that I will agree with. Chad Parham, 2 times the Anarchy heavyweight champion, also reigning television champion, a title that he captured at Hardcore Hell by pinning, well, coincidentally, the referee for this contest, former World's Television Champion Ace Rockell. And
you don't think Ace Rockell might not be a little bit bitter about that?
I'm pretty sure he's bitter about that.
I know this man. He doesn't let things go.
Well, no, he doesn't.
We've seen him in the wars with the Devil's Rejects last year. We saw him in War Games. He doesn't let things go. I mean, I admire him for his heart, but he's also very vindictive. I mean, look at him. He distracted him while Jeremy Vane went up and snuck attack him.
Chad Parham was arguing with a man who, at least tonight, is an NWA official. Ace Rockell, despite his personal feelings, I am quite certain will do the job that is ahead of him, which is to be an official in this contest. And right now, ushering Jeremy Vane away from the ropes, away from Chad Parham, doing his job as an NWA official.
Now, I will have to disagree with one thing you said. Chad Parham doesn't argue. He just makes you see his point of view. He doesn't have to argue. This man is a cool, calm, collective customer. That's what he is. Jeremy Vane's a great athlete, don't get me wrong. And maybe someday he'll be up there in the upper echelon with the Chad Parhams of the world. He just got to keep plugging at it and plugging at it. And I know with this kid's heart, I mean, this man's already made leaps and bounds. You know, if he just keeps trying, maybe he follows Chad's, 3-year plan. Maybe in 5 years he'll be there.
Okay, look, I have never professed any great love for Chad Parham. I give him a great deal of credit.
Yes.
The man is the world's television champion. He is the only 2-time Anarchy champion in history. I am also not exactly the president of the Jeremy Vane fan club, as these 2 men right now are proving to be each other's equal, somewhat to say. But Jeremy Vane, in my opinion, is in the same class as Chad Parham. The man is a former Anarchy Tag Team Champion. He was a Wild Side Tag Team Champion. Though he has never held the TV title under the Anarchy banner, he has held the title on 3 separate occasions, tying the all-time record. The man went head-to-head with AJ Styles back in December. It's very hard to say this guy is not in the same class with Chad Parham.
Yeah, you know what? First of all, when you want to talk about classes, if you want to compare, Chad Parham is like calculus. He's like trigonometry. And Jeremy Vane, he's great. He's kind of like advanced algebra. That's comparing the 2 classes right there. He is way out of Jeremy Vane's class. Way out. I mean, he's way ahead of that.
Arm bar now applied in concert with the knuckle lock. That's extra leverage by technical perfection. Chad Parham, as referee Ace Rockell, checks in to see if Jeremy Vane wants to give it up. Now just driving the knee.
Just out of curiosity real quick, Greg Hunter.
Yes.
NWA Anarchy, I mean, that one of our affiliates is not in Greenville, South Carolina, right?
Why do you ask?
I'm just wondering if, they can see the show in Greenville, South Carolina, the wonderful hometown of Jeremy Vane.
Actually, JJ, they can see our television program all over the world. In case you don't remember, and for the record, I'm very well acquainted with the internet, we're on the superstation.net every Monday night. So people all over the world can see NWA Anarchy. So that would include Greenville, South Carolina, yes.
And Jeremy Vane, right?
Yes, and Jeremy Vane.
And that's why I said all along, this guy is a viable contender. There's, you know what? Him and Chad Parham, they're equal, neck and neck. They're like 2 thoroughbreds in there. It's wonderful to have a great match like this. Too bad it's tainted with the horrible officiating of one Ace Rockell.
Yeah, the horrible officiating that is calling it right down the middle, straight up title match, doing his job very well, is referee Ace Rockell. I'm sure that he went to NWA officials here in attendance tonight. I'm sure he went to Harold James. I'm sure he went to Brent Wiley, made sure that he knew the finer points to be an official before he came out here to officiate this match. Right now, administering his count on this choke that Jeremy Vane is applying to the heavyweight and television champion, Chad Parham.
Can that count get any faster?
Yeah, it could.
It consistently got faster there, Greg Hunter. That's what I'm talking about. Ace Rockell, he's letting his heart referee this match. He's got a vendetta against both these men. He feels that both these men have caused him his championships and his chances. I mean, come on, Greg Hunter.
Good grief. And there may be no little untouchables in anyone's future after that. Jeremy Vane, cover now, 1, 2, and feet on the ropes by Chad Parham, who apparently thinks that he might have won.
Now, you know, first of all, I don't see what was so wrong with him having his feet on the ropes. It is well documented that Chad Parham has had back injuries and neck injuries, and all he was doing was stretching out his back muscles.
Oh, wait a minute. Roll up, 1, 2, and a handful of tights caught by referee Ace Rockell.
Now, come on, you got to be kidding me. And you know what? I know somewhere in this building, Jerry Palmer is watching a monitor, laughing and giggling and enjoying his work.
Well, I'm sure he is watching on in approval of the NWA's newest official, at least for tonight, Ace Rockell. And right now, Jeremy Vane raining punches on the head of the only dual champion in Anarchy history. Chad Parham in a world of trouble right now. That world's television title could be slipping away. Jeremy Vane working over the head of Chad Parham, but Parham, handful of hair, promptly stopped by a short right hand.
You know, let me tell you something. Chad Parham has done what no man in this promotion or in this building has ever done, and he has won both singles titles here in one shot. He's the Anarchy heavyweight champion. He's the television champion. And you know what? Let me tell you something. I've heard a rumor about Chad Parham. I hear his clothes get so excited that when they touch his body that he doesn't have to pop his collar.
Wow. Wheelbarrow suplex by Jeremy Vane. Cover, hooks the near leg. 2, and only a 2, says referee Ace Rockell. Jeremy Vane perhaps getting a little frustrated here, trying to figure out what he needs to do to put away Chad Parham and capture his 4th TV title. All right, oh, good grief. Enziguri out of nowhere by technical perfection. Parham off the far side. Senton, that's put plenty of people away. 2, and only a 2, did not hook the leg and did not get the fall.
Greg Hunter, I have seen a tortoise and a hare race. That count was slower than any tortoise I've ever seen race. That was pathetic. He must have learned how to count from Harold James.
Well, the count was consistent. He's been making that same pin count through the entire match. No favorite shown thus far by Rockell. Sleeper hold applied, quickly gotten out of. And the 2 men bump heads. Chad Parham had shoved Vane off into the ropes. And on the rebound, their heads came together. Ace Rockell administering his count. If he gets to 10, the match is a draw. And the TV title would remain with Chad Parham. And right now, checking on Jeremy Vane is Rockell. Chad Parham has the World's Television Championship belt in his hands as we speak. And Rockell sees the title. He sees the belt, takes it away from Chad Parham. He's putting the belt in the corner, and Jeremy Vane just clocked. He just clocked Chad Parham with the heavyweight title.
Ace Rockell had him distracted.
2,